Hey folks, it's Rick. I've already done this once. I didn't press record. It's a nice Halloweeny C minor chord. So welcome to the Theory Show. This is the Back Porch Theory, but it's in the 40s now, so I'm not going to go outside with my guitar and all that crap. Much to Fred's chagrin, I don't know where he is. What you hear me doing is I'm playing a C minor chord, but I'm playing it broken into single notes. That's the chord, and here is arpeggio, single notes. Oops, I put a 4 in. So that's what I want to talk about today is arpeggios in your soloing. And they're a lot of fun because you can get kind of fast at them and cheat, you know. Oops. So I'll center mostly on the basic minor pentatonic thing that everybody knows, like that. I always slip into my little habits. So when I say my little habits, I go in and out of playing scales, playing arpeggios, playing chord shapes. It's all the same thing to me. If I'm playing over a chord like that C minor, you know, I've got a row of notes in my head. You know, I've got these or this. I just played. The only difference there was I played that instead of that. Sometimes I play them as a straight row of notes up and down. Sometimes I skip through them, you know. Sometimes I'll play through an arpeggio. Some people call it a sweep pick. Some people call it rake. Any way that you look at it, it's good to know what you're doing with it, what you're doing with those notes. Coffee. So, what else can be done with these? Well, let's play our chord. Did you ever comment on something on Facebook like 5 months ago and people are still making comments on it? You're like, when I think I need to leave Facebook altogether. Okay, so what I'm doing there is I'm doing the shape of a G chord, just like this. You might think to yourself, that's not a G chord, but it is, because if you move it to the open position, it's a G chord, right? Turn this guy down for a second and look. And then if we move up here, it's a G chord shape, but it's not a G chord anymore, it's an E flat chord, roughly. It will be once I tune. So the idea of what I'm showing today is Just a quick way to grab a handful of notes that all sound great together. And that's called an arpeggio. Or a broken chord. Or just all the chord tones. But just use it as a tool. Don't become its slave. Don't become subservient to your arpeggios. In other words, what if I go, well, I stepped outside of the chord there, but it still sounded pretty good, didn't it? I think it sounded great. So, just know the shapes and use them as a tool. That's an arpeggio. So is this. So what can you do else with arpeggios? You can do approach notes. So watch what I do. This note doesn't fit, but it sounds good. So I use that like a little appoggiatura is the name. I know I throw away all these. I throw around all these 2-cent words, but that's what it's called. It's called an appoggiatura. And that's just doing a little approach from underneath. You can do 3 notes or 2 notes underneath. You can do it from down here. What did I play there? That's not part of the chord. That is the major 7, which the higher up you play it, the better it sounds. You know, if you play it here, it doesn't sound as good as it does right here. Wait, that's not it. That's it. Just mess around. Just play around with all the notes and put this silly chord in there. Or put this silly chord in. Play the Woody Woodpecker riff. What is that note I'm putting in the top again? Well, that's the 9, actually, is what it is. I know I called it the major 7 before. If you're in the key of this, E flat, then it's major 7. But we're in C minor, so it's the 9. And if you play a C minor 9 chord, it sounds really pretty. But if you're just playing a C minor chord, it still sounds great. That's pretty cool. I'm actually playing a B flat arpeggio over that. And if I go to the 4 chord, which is the F minor, everybody, you knew that, didn't you? So here's the 4 chord. Now I'm starting it from here. And I'm playing a C shape. See? C. Move the C up to here. Right? Whoops. Up to there. And then put your fingers here with your finger capo. Oh, and then I go back to C minor. Whoops. C minor. By the way, here, I'll show this in a minute. Okay, so back to C minor. So really, I'm showing that you can do this. Well, you can do it in all kinds of positions, but here's the G form position. Here's the C form position. See, they're the same chord. They're just executed in different spots. And there's C minor. Pretty good, pretty good. I use these a lot. I use these in a way to cheat. Because I'm not a fast picker, but I'm pretty quick at going. You might think that's fast, but it's really just... Lots of people can do it. Then the chromatic approach. Ending on the 9, ending on the 13. Ending on the 7. And when you do that 7, 9, 13, then you're playing a B flat arpeggio. Uh-huh. Yeah. It's all great stuff. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, don't just be like, Rick, I don't understand what you're talking about, so shut off the video. No, type a question in there and I'll answer it. To be honest, if somebody's playing in C minor, this is what I see. Right? And I see that finger down, and I'm like, opportunity knocks, man. So I can go. And then I'm like, well, I'm bored with that. I'll come down here. Arpeggios, folks. It's cool stuff. Okay. There's other ways you can do it. You can do it starting from the 4th finger. Or you could do it starting in the middle. So you can go. See how the arpeggio is still there. See it? I'm just using different fingers. I like this one because I learned this from a Joe Pass book. That always seems to work, even if I don't know what chord's coming up. And see, look, I'm going to play a G7 chord, which is the 5. Oh, wait, I need the F on it. There it is. So if I went... Alright, so that gets a little bit more intense. But that's also what I want to talk about today. I want to just talk about this. Because everybody knows this scale. But people often don't think, what's the chord in there? Well, it's that. It's that. It's this. You know, it's all a bunch of chords that we may or may not know. But it's good to learn them. The other thing to remember too is technique-wise, if you're not used to using your 4th finger, a lot of people aren't. I cheat sometimes and use like that, but So if you're not used to that, then do some exercises, you know, do chromatic scale. You know, just do it on one position. Go. It gets your fingers all loosened up. Do the cage system. Always be working on your fourth finger. Fourth finger is really important, man. Admittedly, I'm better at going up than down. So, what are you going to do? All right, folks. I hope you're having a good day. I hope that you find this useful. If so, like it and subscribe and be my friend. All right, folks. I've got my little remote here to stop the video. So, peace.